It's 5 full attractions totaling over a mile in length. Unbelievable scenery, jaw-dropping special effects, terrifying actors. You can go to FOTOhio.com. It's going to have all the details for you. If you want to buy tickets there, you can do it too. But I got them for you all week. Pair right now for caller 10. Put you at the Factory of Terror in Canton. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Some people say our country is more divided than ever. But don't ask him. He sucks at math. Alan Cox on 100.7 WMMS.
Buying my Christopher Cross tickets.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I have a show that
Very
night, so I can't
exciting.
go. Otherwise, I would.
October the 4th.
Yeah.
Christopher Cross coming to the Agora. A couple of weeks away.
Be.
How was Herb Alpert, by the way?
Dude, Herb Alpert was fantastic.
You went to see him on Saturday night?
Sunday night.
Last night.
Yeah, it was last night.
Herb Alpert was last night.
Mm-hmm. Saturday was Cake, but I couldn't go to that because I had a show. And
Yeah,
I
I
had a
had-
lot of people sending me videos and stuff, and it looked like a very good time.
I had friends posting video, and I'm like, what band is this? It was just like from, the back row of Jacobs Pavilion or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then I figured out it was Short Skirt Long Jacket. I was like, oh, they're at Cake. They can't be my friends anymore. What a bummer. But they were having a great time. It looked pretty packed out for Cake.
Yeah, it looked real packed out. But
You saw Herb Alpert at Playhouse Square.
Yeah, Herb Alpert at Playhouse Square with his wife, and it was fantastic.
Now, who did you take?
I took my friend Sarah.
Yep.
This is the same girl that came to the WMMS.
Buzzard Fest?
Buzzard Fest, that's
There
the
you
one.
go.
The Buzzard Fest.
And his wife is his opening act.
No, there's no opening act. They just...
Oh, I thought she was performing before him.
She performs a few songs throughout.
Hmm.
So, she'll do a few different songs. And a lot of medleys. He tells a lot of stories. It was really great. And for a dude that's 88 years old,
Yeah.
he was with it. He was very good. And it was really touching at times, and he was pretty funny. I got a big laugh.
Do they walk out and say, ladies and gentlemen, Herb Alpert? Or does he just walk out?
There's a big video that plays beforehand, and then his band goes out and they start playing, and then him and his wife walk out together.
So is the Tijuana Brass a bunch of young dudes now? The Tijuana Brass is probably mostly dead.
He doesn't call them the Tijuana Brass.
Does he call them the Tijuana Brats because they're so young?
Yeah, he just calls. I mean, they're still not that young, but
According to,
compared
to him.
yeah. They're really accomplished musicians, and it's got some improvisational aspects to it, and it was one of the funner concerts I've ever been to. And there were more young people there than I thought there would be.
Yeah, the more I thought about it, I was like, there's probably a whole bunch of people who have discovered Herb Alpert.
I mean, the median age was probably 70.
Yes.
But there was a few guys around my age and a few
A smattering.
younger. My date was probably the youngest woman there.
Yep.
But we had a great time. We had a couple cocktails before, and then we went and enjoyed Herb Alpert.
Was it
and
sold out?
Yeah, it was sold out.
Wow.
And he was very grateful. He's been trying to come to Cleveland, he said, for 15 years since he started touring again, and said he couldn't get booked, and then finally...
Oh, he hasn't been there in that long. Been here in
Yeah.
that long.
Well, even longer than that, because... Excuse me. He's been... He's been out... he didn't tour for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably been... He didn't say exactly the last time he's been here, but it's been a very long time since he's been here, and it was fantastic.
I mean, he won a Grammy 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He won Best Pop Instrumental Album for his album called Steppin' Out in 2013. And he's a very rich man.
Because
he founded A&M Records, and they sold that to Polygram for $500 million. And that was like 30 years ago.
Right.
That was like unheard of back then. And then they got...
Yeah, he's worth about $500 million now.
Yeah, Polygram screwed them out of some money, so they had to give them... And Jerry Moss, his business partner, died a few months ago. but they founded A&M Records, and Polygram screwed him on some kind of deal, so they owed him $200 million more like years later. So, yeah, Herb Alpert, that's how you know the guy loves performing, because he does not need to do it.
He doesn't need the money. He doesn't even take any of the money. Like, he pays the musicians he tours with, but then everything else, the proceeds are donated to the Louis Armstrong Foundation.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, so he's not even out there for the money at all.
Wild.
Yeah. And like even the merch and everything. I bought a shirt.
You bought a Herb Alpert shirt?
Yeah, it's a Whipped Cream and Other Delights t-shirt. It looks great. I was going to wear it today, but I left it in my car, and I was like, oh, should have brought that up. But I will probably wear it tomorrow. But
Herb Alpert shirt.
He was fantastic. It was really, really fun, and it was, kind of jazzy. And the girl that I took, Sarah, she didn't know anything about him, but she had a really good time, and it was very sweet and somewhat romantic, too, because him and his wife are still very in love.
Lonnie Hall.
Yeah.
They've been together a long time.
50 years.
How was there a point where your girl was like, oh, I recognize that from your apartment. I recognize that song from you playing it.
Yeah, I mean, she's like, I kind of know these from you playing it, but not really. But then he did like a few covers. Like he did a cover of Jason Mraz's I'm Yours.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like this whole tribute to people that were in relationships, or so he made it seem, but it was actually a little bait and switch because it was about their love of their trumpet.
Okay.
So it's like showing these people like, I met her in, when I was in 3rd grade, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, oh, that's great. This couple's been together since they were in 3rd grade. No, it's the trumpet.
His trumpet.
Yeah.
I met my trumpet. How do you meet a trumpet?
Well, that's
I mean, I started playing.
I
started playing the drums when I was very, very young, but I don't say I met my drums.
Well, they were tricking us.
Oh, I see.
They were trying to make it seem like they were talking about their significant others,
Yeah.
and it was really just love of the trumpet.
So he
These people
probably
are very horny.
He probably he probably plays Whipped Cream from front to back. He probably plays that whole album.
Well, he did. Coming right out the bat, he did a medley of a lot of songs from Whipped Cream and Other Delights.
Yeah.
Said that it was one of the best-selling albums. Like, Cleveland was one of the markets that it sold the most. And then he didn't do all of them because, like, later he was kind of teasing doing, was it Ladyfingers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's like, I don't know if I know this one. And that's when I got the big laugh, and I yelled out, "Bull shrimp!" And the whole place.
You yelled out at the Herb Alpert show.
He said it was an informal type of show, so there was a lot of people yelling out.
Uh-huh.
And it got a good laugh, and he laughed, and he went into it, yeah.
He goes, I don't know if I know how to play this.
Yeah.
And you
He goes,
hurl an expletive at Herbert Alpert.
Yeah, he goes, I don't know if I know how to play the song Ladyfingers. And I go, "Bull shrimp!" And and everybody starts cracking up.
Where were your seats?
The mezzanine. Like
okay, so you
row 6 of the mezzanine.
You got some good volume over the floor seats.
Yes, and those old theaters are made for that, so it carried. It was perfect.
Is it safe to say that you were the Lauren Boebert of the Herb Alpert show?
No, because I wasn't vaping or getting.
There was probably some groping where you were sitting.
No, we weren't really.
You weren't groping
we're not,
in the mezzanine?
No, we're enjoying the show. We
all right
held hands and had but it wasn't that kind of situation.
Well, I wouldn't think that a live production of Beetlejuice would be either, but Lauren Boebert apparently was grinding up on her friend.
Yeah.
And, all right. Well, good. You comported yourself better than Colorado's representative did, I guess. All right.
It was
Herb Alpert. Good times.
It was a good weekend overall. And so Friday morning, I took my oldest daughter to Kia of Streetsboro to buy a car. And they were great and took care of us and everything went really well there. So thank you to Gus and Steve and Vince down there. And then later that night, my other daughter's car got hit by a drunk driver and destroyed.
Really?
Yeah.
Is she okay?
She's okay. She wasn't in it. It was parked on the street some girl going down the street sideswiped her car and totaled it.
Mary's not in town, right?
No.
And she's okay. And she's sober, too.
So, this was a drunk driver that...
Did the girl that hit the car, is she okay?
She's okay. She got out of the car, didn't even realize what she did, and then was like knocked on the door of my daughter's house and was like asking for this dude, and my daughter's like, "Yo, you just hit my car." And then cops got there and
Oh, so it
arrested
wasn't a
her and all
matter
that
of
stuff.
her like going beyond leaving a note. She was looking for a dude.
She thought she was at her the
guy's
location
house.
she was going to. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, she was really out of it. So
So she played herself.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So and that
You know
really bums my daughter out because that was the car that she got. Like, it had a lot of sentimental value because it's her aunt's that passed away a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the car that she's been driving for a few years, and now it's got to get,
Was that a smallish car?
it's like a Ford Escape, I think.
Oh, like a little SUV thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Wow, she must have really hit it then
Yeah,
to destroy that
yeah.
car. What was the other girl driving?
I don't know.
I was gonna say, how is she just okay? Like,
That happens all the time with drunk people.
go
yeah.
limp.
Yeah.
Like they're just rubber, and so they don't tense up and they don't break anything, and Huh.
She didn't hit it head on. She like swiped it, but it like did a lot of damage.
But
I haven't actually heard if it's going to be
totaled
or
out,
whatever,
yeah.
but like from what I was told, it's going to be totaled.
then you just she kept driving, put it in park, and like, oh, let me just go knock on the door, see if Steve's here.
Yeah, basically.
You just imagine your car is just like
Bumpers hanging off.
and you just put it in park. Like, sorry, we can't compute right now. Like, no, you're gonna go in park.
Can't what?
Compute?
Bill, I'm going to need a ruling on this.
Say it again.
Compute?
He said,
But
I'm
like
sorry,
how?
we can't compute.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's a no.
I'm sorry. It's going to be a no for me, dog.
Okay.
What do you mean by this can't compute?
No, I'm just saying, like, oh, if it was a computer, we're not working right now. We can't put it in park. I know it's a transmission. It's a little different operating system, but I don't know. It sounded right in my head.
Okay, well, listen. Now that I know what you were talking about, okay. Yeah, so did they get into a Donnybrook or anything? They're on the front lawn? Did they get into a fight?
No,
or?
the police were there pretty fast,
Yeah.
and she got
Somebody else might have called it in, or did she call it in?
I don't know. I think somebody else might, because it was a loud, it made a lot of noise, and the cops are out in Lakewood ready to go at
Sure.
that time of night.
Well, you know why the cops are going to be out in Lakewood tonight? Cox Out pregame
There you go.
at Around the Corner. Cox Out, Cops Out. That was some, I vetoed that name many, many years ago. It's too bad Mary's not here because it occurred to me, all those years, and these are well-known stories here on the program about her heavy drinking days, about how she smashed numerous cars, right? We give her a hard
but
time
she
about...
never really hit anybody else. She always just crashed her car into something.
I thought she mentioned that she hit other cars or something. Well, we've always attributed...
It's always hard to put it all together.
Right.
though.
We've always attributed that to her being blackout drunk. What if she was just an awful driver? Does that ever occur to her? That it had nothing, ironically, had nothing to do with her being drunk. She just was a terrible, terrible driver then.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she's gotten better now. I don't know if anybody's ever broached that subject with her. Hey, congratulations, by the way, to one Arnold Schwarzenegger. You ever heard of Arnold Schwarzenegger? Am I saying that correctly? Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnie, yes, yeah.
He is celebrating 40 years of American citizenship today. 1983, Arnold Schwarzenegger, the pride of Austria. The bodybuilder turned actor, turned politician. He was, some people forget, the governor of California. And he was a Republican governor of California. He's a pretty well-liked governor.
Wasn't he the last Republican governor?
Of California?
Yeah, I feel like he will be.
You
the
might be
last.
right. They had a recall election of a guy named Gray Davis, and that's when everybody started running, like Gary Coleman and porn stars, and what. It was kind of a precursor of things to come. Really, was Arnold Schwarzenegger being elected the governor of California because he had so much name recognition, and people were like, "All right, why not? Let's flip a coin," and they called him the Governator and ha 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 and all that. But he really,
Governor. I just got that.
They workshopped a bunch of names for him. Governor is the one that won.
Last action governor didn't catch on.
Gover Garten Cop. They didn't like that one so much. Gover Twins, they said that one didn't make sense.
We're going to play a wonderful game called Who is My Daddy and What Does He Do? Yes?
Is your daddy a fireman? He's probably big. Is he a wrestler? Is he a basketball coach?
No.
What's the matter?
I have a headache.
It might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor at all.
Oh, it's so stupid, but so funny.
Because he's so like big and muscular.
And they're so
And
tiny.
But he's finally met his match, and it's just kids
It's
being
just
kids.
Yes.
It's just kids being kids.
It's not a tumor. And a little boy teaches him about genitalia, that boys have a penis. I forget what the rest of it is, but it is hilarious. Arnie says, I arrived here with empty pockets. Take two. I arrived here with empty pockets, but full of dreams, determination, full of desire. Of course, as you know, some of that desire was pointed toward his housekeeper many, many years later.
Hey.
And he became a U.S. citizen in 1983. And in many, many ways embodies the American dream for immigrants. And he has always been very, very, now again, hasn't lost one iota of that accent. That's what's always fascinating to me is some people, you know, if they live here long enough, or even if an American lives overseas long enough, kind of by osmosis, they'll pick up a little bit of maybe the regional or local dialect, or you'll hear kind of a tinge of an accent. Some people never lose a bit of their accent. Not like he should. I'm just surprised that none of that. He sounds exactly like Arnold Schwarzenegger from the first minute he showed up in public consciousness. He had open heart surgery and almost died. And he said that his doctor told him that the procedure had not gone as planned. And he was worried that his time was short. But it's got to be tough, too, to be a guy like Schwarzenegger and get older. It's got to be weird to age when you were like the epitome of masculinity and you know, the specimen of what a human could achieve and blah, blah, blah. And he's 76 years old now, so he's been a U.S. citizen for, let's see, the 40th anniversary is today. He is 76 years old, so 76. Let's see, how long has he been?
The minus
Carry
40,
the
right?
one.
Probably.
Hold on. 0.2 minus. This says he's been a citizen for 36 years.
I think you did that wrong.
Let me try. He's 76, and today is the 40th anniversary of his gaining U.S. citizenship. So he's 76, 40 years. Minus, let's see, carry the... Oh, this says 36 years. Unfortunately, the most recent thing I saw from Schwarzenegger is a terrible, terrible show on Netflix called FUBAR,
I wanted to like that show so much.
which
and it
has
just-
inexplicably been renewed for a second season. I'm sure they gave him a 2-season commitment from the jump just to get him to do it, but it is not good.
It is not. And I wanted it to be good.
Yes. How can it be bad?
They found a way.
Yeah. Love Arnie, but it is not entertaining. But that's that. So congratulations to Arnold Schwarzenegger, and welcome to America.
Proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars were so gallantly there, as though rockets were there, and the twilight's last gleaming, and the rockets' red glare were so gallantly there. Burst stripes were all there, and the rockets were there.
Take that, Whitney Houston. Pretender to the throne.
I'm not going to deal with you.
You don't have to.
This dude freestyled. Whitney didn't have the courage.
I was MC weddings this weekend, speaking of Whitney Houston, and one of the mother of the groom got me these little Whitney Houston. I don't know why she was giving me gifts, but she knew I loved Whitney Houston so much. She got me these Whitney Houston era dolls, like from each era of her career. Like,
oh, that's very kind.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's so sweet.
The mother of the groom got you a gift.
Yes,
it's very nice, very classy move.
She was like, oh my gosh.
You think she was hitting on you?
Maybe.
Did she think that maybe she could pass for a skeleton-faced white boy? She old?
No, she was.
You think maybe you wouldn't notice?
No, she was very.
You think they're gonna stay married?
Yeah, they seemed very in love. It was
They
very,
always do.
Seems like that at first.
Always do.
It was a very cute, intimate wedding. It was out there in Geneva.
Geneva on the lake?
No, it's just Geneva. But I didn't realize, how many vineyards there were out there. Like that is
Veneers?
Vineyards.
Oh, vineyards. I thought like everybody got their teeth done.
No,
vineyards. Yeah, it's wine country, right?
Yeah, it's like our little. I guess what would be the wine country of California? Is that Santa Barbara?
Napa Valley.
Napa Valley. Yeah. It's our own little Napa Valley.
Paw Paw, Michigan.
But yeah, I was driving out there. I was like, wow, look at all the little fields. This is cute.
All the little grape fields.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, well, good. Congratulations.
But yeah, shout out to Mother of the Groom. She's cute. That was very nice of her.
All right.